Have you ever wondered if the supernatural could serve as a protector rather than a source of terror? This question challenges our typical perception of the spectral world, nudging us to consider the possibility of a protective rather than a malevolent nature of the paranormal. In today's journey, we're going to explore a series of truly extraordinary narratives. These aren't your usual ghost stories filled with fright and dread. Instead, we'll delve into accounts where spirits, often of departed loved ones, have stepped in to shield their living relatives from peril. These tales, told by those who've experienced them firsthand, paint an eerie yet intriguing picture of the supernatural. They challenge the stereotype, suggesting that the spectral realm might not be entirely malevolent, that it could in fact harbor protective entities. Prepare to delve into the unknown, where spirits break the stereotype and become guardians. Are you ready for an encounter with the protective side of the supernatural? Our first tale takes us back to the tumultuous times of World War II. The world was a battlefield, and amidst the chaos, there was a soldier by the name of Richard. Richard was a brave soul, fighting for his country, and carrying the memory of his deceased brother William in his heart. One night, on the front lines, Richard was on guard duty. He stood watch, the cold wind biting at his skin, the silence of the night broken only by the distant hum of warfare. Suddenly, a familiar voice echoed in his ears, the voice he hadn't heard since his childhood, the voice of his brother William. "Richard," the voice warned, "move away from your post, now." Startled and bewildered, Richard hesitated for a moment before deciding to heed the voice. No sooner had he moved a few steps away, a shell exploded right where he had been standing. The blast would have taken his life had he not moved when he did. Shaken, Richard was convinced it was the spirit of his late brother who had saved him. He recalled the strong bond they shared, and how William had always been his protector, even in death. He often spoke of this encounter to his fellow soldiers, recounting the eerie voice that had saved his life. The ghost of William had become Richard's guardian, a spectral sentinel in the deadly theater of war. It's a tale that raises questions about the bonds of love and duty that transcend the mortal coil, about the connection between the living and the dead, the seen and the unseen. In the midst of war, it seems, a ghostly protector was watching over our soldier. The story of Richard and his spectral guardian William serves as a chilling reminder that sometimes protection comes from places we least expect. And perhaps, just perhaps, our loved ones never truly leave us, even after they have passed into the realm of the afterlife. Next, we journey to a secluded lighthouse where a young girl's life was saved by an unexpected guardian. In the heart of the sea, on a small island, stood a towering lighthouse. It was a beacon of hope for many a lost sailor. This lighthouse was maintained by a dedicated keeper and his young daughter, who lived in solitude, with the sea as their only companion. One day, as the daughter ventured out to gather seashells, she was caught unaware by a rogue wave. Swept off her feet, she was pulled into the tumultuous sea. As she struggled against the powerful currents, a chilling cold enveloped her. Not of the sea, but something else, something ethereal. Just when her strength was beginning to wane, she felt an unseen hand guiding her. It led her through the chaos of the sea towards the safety of the shore. She emerged from the water, gasping for air, yet alive and safe. Over the following days, she would recount her eerie experience. She described the sensation of a firm yet gentle grip, steering her away from danger. The villagers whispered of a previous lighthouse keeper, a man known for his bravery, who had met his end in those very seas, attempting a daring rescue during a storm. Could it be that the spirit of this brave keeper had come to her rescue? Did he remain shackled to the lighthouse, watching over those who dared to tread near his watery grave? While skeptics dismissed it as a mere hallucination, a result of the terror and oxygen deprivation, others believed. They saw it as proof that even in death, the bonds of duty and care could transcend the mortal realm. The lighthouse, they said, was not just a beacon for lost sailors, but also a beacon for lost souls. In the unforgiving sea, a spectral savior emerged, proving that not all spirits mean harm. Our final story takes us to an abandoned hospital, where a paranormal entity saved a group of explorers from a deadly accident. In the heart of an old city lay a desolate hospital, its history obscured by the passage of time. A group of adventure seekers, armed with nothing but their curiosity, decided to explore this relic of the past. Little did they know that they were stepping into a narrative much older and darker than they could have imagined. As they navigated through the crumbling corridors and decaying rooms, they felt an uncanny chill, a sense of being watched. The silence of the hospital was broken intermittently by the whispers of the wind, creating an eerie symphony that echoed in the vacant wards. Their adventure took a dangerous turn when they reached a part of the hospital that was visibly deteriorating. The floorboards were creaking, threatening to give way, but the thrill of exploration overpowered their sense of danger. Just as they were about to tread on the precarious floor, they heard a stern voice, clear and resonant, warning them to turn back. Startled, they looked around, but there was no one in sight. The voice, they later realized, belonged to none other than a spectral figure of a nurse, who had once dedicated her life to the service of the sick and the wounded within these very walls. Her ghostly presence, it seemed, was still committed to saving lives. The explorers were shaken, but grateful. They heeded the spectral nurse's warning and retreated, avoiding a potentially lethal fall. As they left the hospital, they couldn't help but feel a profound sense of respect for their ghostly savior. In the echoes of the abandoned hospital, a ghostly protector emerged, saving lives in death as she did in life. This spectral nurse, bound by her duty even in the afterlife, serves as a chilling yet inspiring reminder that sometimes our protectors come from the most unexpected places. In the echoes of the abandoned hospital, a ghostly protector emerged, saving lives in death as she did in life. As we journeyed through these tales, we encountered a different side of the supernatural, an aspect that might be less chilling and more comforting than what we've come to expect. In each of these stories, we saw evidence of spirits acting not as malevolent entities, but as silent protectors, guardians from the other side. First, we met the soldier, whose spectral guardian intervened at the crucial moment, saving him from a deadly ambush. The ghost wasn't a faceless entity, but his fallen comrade, choosing to protect rather than haunt. This story forces us to ponder the bonds of camaraderie, transcending the realms of life and death. Then we visited the Lighthouse, haunted by the keeper's daughter. Her ethereal presence was not a cause of terror but a beacon of hope. Her actions saved a ship from crashing against the rocky shore. She didn't just haunt the lighthouse, she kept watch, ensuring the safety of seafarers. Our journey then took us to a haunted hospital. Here, a child's spirit played an instrumental role in saving a patient on the brink of death. The spirit wasn't causing havoc but subtly influencing events to ensure a life was saved. In each of these instances, the supernatural was not a source of fear, but a symbol of protection. These spirits, rather than instilling terror, chose to guard the living, acting as unseen sentinels in the face of danger. It makes us question the nature of the supernatural. Are spirits always malevolent, or could they be remnants of love, friendship, and duty lingering on to protect us? These stories make us reconsider our perceptions of the paranormal. It's easy to fear the unknown, the unseen, but what if these entities are not as fearsome as we've been led to believe? What if they are simply trying to protect us, to guide us, to watch over us in ways we may never fully understand? Maybe, just maybe, the supernatural isn't always something to fear, but could be unseen guardians watching over us from the shadows.